So I was trying to figure out how I was going to start this one off, like how I wanted to frame it. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I was going to be like, men are soft these days, men are cucks, men are, you know, but I think instead of doing it like that, I'm going to go at the women today. And what I'm going to say is that women refuse to accept responsibility for anything. A lot of the problems that's going on in the world today is because of women. They don't even recognize their own power and what they and how they can change and really affect change. And women need to wake up and start accepting personal responsibility for this that we in that's going on right now. That's my premise.
Okay.
Y'all don't take
Yeah, you lost
no.
me at y'all because I'm actually
Are
not
you
going to
agreeing?
accept that because
Mm.
it's not a trigger for me. This feminism shit is not a trigger for me at all because
Well, I'm not trying to trigger you.
no, I know, but I'm just saying like it triggers a lot of people,
Yeah,
a lot of
I
women, I
like for
should
you to
say.
play devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying? I like for
Yeah.
you to, but if you agree, you agree.
I agree, but let's see what you got because I do have some on the
That's
devil's
what I
advocate
got.
side. Yeah.
That's what
Well,
I got.
okay. I have a devil's advocate thing because you're right, but I don't blame the women themselves as much as I blame the programmers, and they just fell for it. They fell for it hard though, really, really hard. But it also is circumstantial. So say,
Okay,
what
okay,
exactly are you
wait,
talking
back
about? Give
up,
me something.
back up. Okay, so I'm saying that you know what? Hold on. You know what? You're right. She might be able to say it a little bit better than I can. Watch this.
There you go. She is a woman.
Yes. Yeah, you with me?
I'm with you.
Isn't it crazy how men built the world for us and then we shit on them as a thank you? See, none of us are virgins anymore. Like, men value purity and youth, right? And they're not getting that anymore. So do you think it's a fair deal for men when they're not getting that to be monogamous to us, to comprise on their mating strategy when we don't fulfill theirs because we're not virgins anymore? And like, the truth is, modern women are less pure than they've ever been, and we're older than we've ever been. So I'm asking, do you think that's a fair deal for men when they have to be more and we're less? Like, young virgins, that's the ideal. Just like our ideal is like rich men. Saying now in today's day and age, like, women have higher standards than ever, but bring less to the table than ever. We're older, we've slept with more people, and we have less loyalty because we're the ones leaving them. So I'm saying, do you think that's a fair deal for men?
I think she's stupid.
Why do you think she's stupid?
Stupid because you
That's a
can't
good
make
question.
yourself young again. You just have to be a good partner to your.
Listen, that's all true, but that's not what she's talking about. She's not talking about what makes a good relationship or what makes a good marriage. That's not what she's saying.
Okay, I
She's saying as
know.
far as the marketplace of women go, women bring less to the table because what men value is youth and virginity.
If that's
And
what men value, if the man that she's going after
listen, historically that's what men value. You know that.
value,
Stop
I
playing.
think from a certain age, yes, but I think that once they
No,
grow,
no,
I would hope. I mean,
listen.
honestly,
Over the last 100 years, youth and virginity has been pushed to the back. But before then, come on now, that was top of the list. That's why we have shotgun weddings in the 50s. Because my girl, you're not gonna be, knocking up on my girl and not marrying her.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see. It's like that's just so stupid to
I
me.
know,
It's
and
so
I'm telling you,
dumb.
y'all don't take no responsibility for nothing. You don't bring nothing to the table. No, listen, let me tell you something.
I know what I bring to the table. That's what I'm saying. I know
I,
exactly what I bring to the table,
okay,
and that's why, huh?
it's not personal. I'm not talking about
No, but
you.
you did say you take personal responsibility, so it is personal, right?
Okay, listen, I'm not talking about you, Leah. I'm talking about
Okay.
women.
I mean, yeah, there's some dumb bitches. There's hella dumb bitches. Of course there are.
That's not what we talk. That's not what we're talking about.
Okay.
Talking
You think
about
that
you
that
women
women bring less to the table because they're
nowadays.
not.
Nowadays, y'all women, y'all want to go out and make as much as a man. Y'all want to sleep around, do all this, do all that, and then you still want us to be trying to like marry you and wife you up. What?
Backtrack. Do you think why do you think that women should get paid as much as men?
If they're doing the same job, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
see why not.
So, and does it matter if she wants you to wife her? Because I mean, I don't understand. She's doing the same job as you.
Yeah, that's because you just changed the subject.
No, I didn't. You said you
Asked
want, they
about
want
pay.
you. I'm
You just asked
speaking
about pay.
directly to you.
You just asked about pay from. I didn't say nothing about paying for men. I said women want to go out and work and be like men, right? They want to go and
No,
earn
that's
the
not what you
pay,
said,
right?
but you said
I
get
don't
paid
need
to
no
make
man. I'm INDEPENDENT, right? You know, had all the songs, right? They got them in
that's
Spanish too. They got it in English and Spanish, right? Teaching y'all how to be
yep.
juvenile. Let me tell you
It's
something.
stupid.
Independent woman is like saying, I graduated junior high school and you never even went to high school. It's like being proud to graduate in junior high school because you're an independent woman.
Yeah. But the hypocrisy, if women are not seeing that, the person saying that is happily married. She has kids with this dude. Like, that's a hypocrisy. She's talking about independent women. The shoes on my feet, I bought it. Okay, you're married to a
Were those
billionaire.
ladies married when they sang that song?
With who?
That's Destiny's Child, the one that you're talking
Yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah.
Were they
Yeah,
married
but
when
she
they
was
sang
still,
that
I mean,
song?
she was 1 foot in. She was in a monogamous relationship, quote unquote, from what, and that's what she went on to be anyway. So if you're listening to that old ass song, you see where she
I know,
ended
but
up.
she got that song and she got Can You Pay My
Can you pay my
Bills? Can you
bills?
pay my telephone
Yeah.
bills? Right? So how are you making all this money
Right.
and you still need me to pay your bills? Huh?
If you listen to the word of the song, he was trifling, and she was saying, if you're going to take my phone and call whoever that you think is at home, can you pay the bill, please? That's what she's saying in the song. So that just doesn't even. Calling whoever that you think's at home.
Okay,
Then
so
when
listen,
the bill comes,
you
all of a
have
sudden
to
you be
listen.
acting done.
You
No,
have
we're
to
not even.
stop acting like this is a personal conversation, right? We're
I'm
not.
not. I'm just saying that I don't feel
Listen,
it.
listen. We're not talking about the lyrics to either one of those songs. Really, we're talking about the idea, right? That women are not accepting personal responsibility for any of their shit, any of their madness, and a lot of the shit is their fault. Like that
Okay.
meme, liberal white women. You know, if only women voted, how liberal the country would be. You know how fucked we would be
Oh
right
my
now if only
God.
women voted.
That'd be so fucked.
Like
Yeah,
we would
I
be
agree.
fucked. We'd be fucked in that. We would be fucked right now if only women voted.
Yeah.
So what? You just agree with me that women just don't just that y'all are just wilding out? Y'all
They're
don't
fuck.
accept responsibility for
They
nothing.
they're fucking shit up. And it's hard for me to watch because my mother was, in the older sense of the word feminism, which I feel was always a psyop to some extent and a trick. But it was very authentic, and it wasn't about any of what it's about now. It's changed so much, and it's ugly. And I can't stand a male feminist that's just speaking on something that has literally nothing to do with being a woman. And there's just so much that I hate about it right now that I can't defend it. Like, I can't.
But what is feminism to you?
Feminism is the definition that I always knew it to be was accepting and wanting and fighting for equal rights, women and men, equal rights, to be treated equally. That's it.
All right. Feminism is a range of socio-political movements and ideologies that aim to define and establish the political, economic, personal, and social equity of the sexes.
Huh.
Feminism incorporates the position that society prioritizes the male point of view and that women are treated unjustly in these societies.
Yeah, that's new. That's a new definition. They changed the definition because it's definitely this whole patriarch that they fight against constantly. It exists, but it's not a male female thing. It's these top dudes at the top that it doesn't matter whether you're female or male. They're going to maintain their position.
But there's no women at the top?
Huh?
There's no women
I
at
feel
the
like
top?
that's why I can't fight for it because
There's no women at the top according to you. I mean,
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the patriarch that they're talking about,
the queen just died, right? Wasn't she the top of the? I'm just saying.
No, I don't know. I wasn't there, but she
I mean,
didn't.
I'm listening to you, but I'm just,
I didn't hear her speak on shit.
Huh?
She wasn't my queen, but I know it's not personal. I don't know. I don't get the whole queen thing. I don't understand that. So
I'm not talking about the queen. I'm just talking about your idea of the patriarchy.
no, I'm saying not mine. I'm saying what they're fighting against is not. It's not what they're.
Who's fighting against?
These modern feminists. the modern feminists. What they're fighting against is not, it's not what they're selling it as.
Now, see, listen, you asked me if women should receive equal pay for doing the same job, and I said yes, right?
Right. You're a feminist.
But that's not to say that I think that women are equal to men.
I don't think they are either. Otherwise, what the fuck would we do? Like, there has to be a balance.
That's why there are more women school teachers and male garbage delivery guys. You know, that's why, because we're not equal.
Exactly.
You know, we serve different purposes in society. And what I'm trying to say is that you women, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You guys aren't doing what you're supposed to do, and you're not accepting responsibility for it.
Give me an example.
Well, you should be chaste, and you're not, for example, right? You should be chaste, as in not so free with your giving of love, right?
Yeah.
But what did Pac say? I don't want it if it's that easy, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, but it's easy. But it's so easy.
It's so disgusting.
So easy.
It's so good.
Right. You've seen those videos where like a dude has he comes up and he's dressed all bummy and she don't want to pay no attention to him. Then he goes and gets in a Lamborghini and she just flips the script real quick. You've seen those videos, right?
Yeah.
So
I just don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I mean, it's like, who sold it? I can't stand Cardi B I feel like one of the worst things to happen to, female hip hop, but I was raised in a different era, it was just different. So I see the change and it's disgusting. You're right. Like, people should take responsibility. They should be able to look at themselves. They should be able to, criticize and see where it's going. And I heard a clip of Cardi B having regret, because I do feel that people grow, but it might be too late at that point because you've raised a whole generation of wannabe strippers and OnlyFans.
Y'all can't be emasculating men at the same time you want to be men. Check out this clip from 1960. I'm going to show you this clip when they were having a very sort of similar conversation. Women have no,
white structure incarcerating the black male has continued doing this. She cannot live with us. It's not that we can't live with her.
Are you blaming?
A white structure incarcerating the black male has continued doing this. She cannot live with us. It's not that we can't live with her.
Are you blaming us? Are you saying that it's our fault that this happened?
No, I'm not blaming black America women. I just said that I'm blaming the system. They are victims of the system like the black male.
Well, why do you say that we are castrating you? You say that you want to be the leaders. Okay, well, what about the black professional woman? Are you saying that there should be no black professional woman? Are you trying to deny black women the right to be creative, the right to function?
We're not asking for you to take a back seat. We're saying that you have got to be astute enough and can view the situation well enough where you just automatically know what your role is and step back. And whenever you want to have that aggressive thing, this is the thing that the young black man today is not going to tolerate. My old man tolerated it because his old man tolerated it. It came up for years and years and years. But today, the young black man is not going to take it. He's going to be out there as a leader. White America has used black women to keep the black male in his place. And you're still aiding him by saying, well, we are qualified, we want to work, we can help.
Okay, how are you going to reprogram men so that they don't let us take over what's supposed to be their responsibility? And men that I have had dealings with, they are perfectly willing to sit back and let us do anything we want to.
I don't think that you have to reprogram men. I think you have to reprogram women.
No, you have to reprogram the man so that he will forcefully take what belongs to him, because women, as long as we can get, we're gonna get, and it's part of our being. We're going to do anything to you that you let us, whether we want to or not.
You don't want to live on the level of income that I can afford you and love me on the basis of that. You want to always be aspiring to have all those things that's a part of the great middle class white American society, and because I can't deliver these things to you, you say that you are not a man.
I don't measure a man by how much money he can bring home. I measure a man by how he treats me. Whether when I'm tired and I'm sick and I'm scared, he's there.
A lot to unpack in that one, huh?
Yeah, it's a good discourse though. I feel like that should happen more or these days.
Right. Now, what he was saying was that by you guys going to work, same thing I'm saying, by you guys trying to go to work and earn like men, right? You're emasculating men, and then at the same time, you want us opening doors and buying you dinner and stuff like that too. So, where's your responsibility? What do
The
you get to
same
do? Is she
same
right, by the way, when she said
she
that when she said women they're gonna push and get away with what they can get away with? Was she right when she said that? You know what I'm
some
talking about?
yeah, I guess some women are like that. Yeah. I don't know why. That's why it's really hard to have a conversation like this because a lot of it has to do with society, and the way they were raised. But what I was gonna say is that what was I going to say? Fuck, forgot. But they both had great points. They both had great points to me. And I think that both men and women need to be reprogrammed because the thing is that as much as you might say that women, should stand back and let the man be the man, and then she plays her role. Men notoriously haven't been like that. They leave, and then they leave again, and they
Well,
leave
I
you
don't
with
know.
kids and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I do agree
I'm
that
telling you,
this is, yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know about all that because men stay too. So, some men leave, some men stay. So, yeah,
well,
yeah,
exactly. And some women are fucking
right. But I
skanks.
do agree when he said that men don't need to be reprogrammed, I disagree with that. He said women need to just kind of fall back and accept their role. And I think that that's part of being a man is you need to tell her what's what. And if she can't handle it, then she's not the woman for you. Excuse me. Now, I don't necessarily believe in telling a woman what
Right.
to do, whatever. And I believe equal partners in a relationship and all that, right? But there are some things.
Mm-hmm.
I had an ex girlfriend, and her daughter was 17, almost 18, had a little boyfriend, and mom would have the boyfriend over, and they would be upstairs in the room, and I would be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, hey, right? I would be like, as a dad, as a father figure in that situation, that shit was not cool with me, right? And her being a woman, she was gonna let it freaking slide. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, at the very least, they should have to
That's the
sneak around and have
balance.
sex like I did, right? You know what I'm saying? So they can afford to get a place, right?
Right.
I mean, I shouldn't be, furnishing so this is what I'm talking about as far as
But
dynamic
she
between men
wasn't
and women.
raised with a dad in the house, right?
No, she wasn't.
Right. And that's the balance that I'm talking about. I feel like there needs to be both sides, Like it can't be all,
Well, no,
tough
I'm
love.
talking about no, don't change the subject. I'm talking about programming,
Right.
right? So I'm saying that men do need to be reprogrammed to be men, to
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, this is where I take a stand. No, I'm the man of the house, and this is where it pops off. So now I believe that there are equal but different opportunities for women to put their feet down in situations as well, right? There might be the for off the top of my head, it might be the um I don't know, maybe dad's being too hard on the boyfriend or something, and mom's is like, hey, you need to back off a little bit, right?
Right.
So they each have their roles to play, but I do believe that men are kind of soft these days, and you need to be able to tell a woman, look, this is what it is, and I'm not talking about it no more. You gotta, you gotta, this is what it is. Now, a lot of women don't want to accept that. A lot of women cannot accept that.
Why do you think that is?
Um, I think I think that the programming is strong. Again, they've been led to believe that independent is the peak of their existence. And there is something to achieve beyond independence, and that's called interdependence. And that is when two independent beings work together to achieve something together that neither of them could do alone.
Right.
So it's like first you're dependent, then you're independent, and then hopefully you become interdependent. And that's what marriage is about. It's another
You
one of
bring
those.
me everything. I bring you everything. We have twice as much of everything. That was the quote. Yeah. That's healthy. What's not healthy is
Well,
women
that's why I
thinking,
think that is, if you ask me. I
yeah,
mean, especially nowadays,
it is.
you can't really see like all the TV shows or whatever. You'll see like all the cop shows, the women are doing the fighting and the men aren't, or the women are doing the leading and the men aren't. And it's so funny. You watch some little girl, 5'3", take out like three guys, and you're just like, no, that would never
No,
happen.
that's not how. That's
Never,
not. It's
you know,
unrealistic.
the dude gets knocked out, and then some girls in there just whooping all these. Stop playing with me, right? That would never happen. Either one of these guys, I don't care what training you got, has 50, 75 pounds on you, and it's over. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So they're teaching through movies and through television and through um, um, distorted feminism. They're teaching equality of the sexes instead of, well, I mean, I shouldn't say
women can't handle that
they're
kind of.
they're teaching that the sexes should be equal instead of teaching that there should be equality in the sexes. Makes sense?
Right.
And I think that women are suffering for it. I think women are suffering for it. I don't think
absolutely, and some of them are getting knocked the fuck out too because of it, because they want to run up on a man like she's a man, and the man
I just saw a
is
video
first
like
instinct.
that.
Huh?
Yeah, I just saw a video like that, and the dude was like whooping her ass, and I was like, but she really wanted it. She ran up all on him like she was
wanted to fight him like that.
Yeah, she wanted to. She wanted.
I've had similar. I've seen the situations in a club, like with the woman who's hardcore lesbian, looks like she carries herself like a dude, but when it comes down to it, she's like, I'm a girl, because she knows, like, at the end of the day, you're not gonna be able to fight.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And I think we got to figure out what kind of society we want. Do you want, I mean, but part of it also is, yeah, I mean, we could get into a lot of different things because they did purposely split up the family, black and white, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
They did purposely go in and break everything up. But like when I watch this chick here, watch her.
Isn't it crazy how...
Let me tell you something. You women from the 60s really messed up my life goals. You didn't want to stay at home and clean the house, take care of the kids, have dinner ready for your husbands when they got home from work. That is all I want to do. But no, I thought everyone wanted to be independent. I don't. I don't want to be independent. Now here I am, going to school, because I'm ready to go to college and get them a job and education. Women.
I love her.
I love her too. And that should not be.
Yeah, she's like, huh?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Oh, I said I love her too. And she's considered, I don't know what, a Nazi. I have no idea what they would call her these days.
She's fringe or what, but I don't know why women don't want to take care of her children and take care of the kids and cook. Why would you not want to do that? Why is that a bad thing? Why
is that a bad thing? I wouldn't say why do you not want to do that, because some people just, they're not cut like that. That's not I don't believe that, as far as nature goes, that's normal. Like, I feel like most women are nurturing and would do well at home, taking care of the kids and in essence, running the home from the food, the shopping, the stuff that makes a home. Yeah,
there's two jobs: running the home and making money. Yeah, exactly.
And doing both of them alone it's way too hyped. It's not cool. It's hard as fuck. I've done it a lot. My mom did too. And the shit is hella hard. You end up missing out on so much, and it's not fair. Can you play that clip of Clinton talking to Megan Thee Stallion? The two Clintons, the mother and daughter. It's recently from like last week. Do you have that?
I don't have it, but let's see if I can find it.
You see a lot of people attacking a woman, right? And then it's like the first thing they think is, let's bandwagon on it. I also heard this. I also know that. And let's disregard how this may be making her feel right now. Look at her having a breakdown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you put me through so much, and then when I finally start responding, now I'm crazy. Now I'm having a mental breakdown.
It's always the same playbook, though.
Right. But then I had to really just learn that that's what comes with being a powerful woman. When you don't show any weakness, they try to keep on figuring 100%. Out what is it that's going to make her tick. As much as you come at me, I'm gonna come at you. But I'm gonna come at you
Just by
with my
being
confidence. Right. I'm gonna come at you with just my life. Maybe one day you'll get tired. I don't know. But you're not gonna break me down.
Yeah.
I bet you get worn out before I do. You see a lot of people attacking a woman, right? And then it's like,
is that what you were talking about?
Not really. It was actually specifically about WAP, which I'm like, that's a trick. Like, it's a trick to think that that's an empowerment. Like, it's not. Yeah.
Chelsea follows rap music. She has ever since she was a little girl.
Yeah. Right.
But I kind of came to awareness of you with the Cardi B WAP.
I've always wanted to do a song with Cardi. As soon as she sent me the song, I think I sent it back to her like the next day. And it was just so exciting. The men, they seem so confident in what they're saying, and they don't have no problem with talking about their sexuality and how they're gonna have sex with you. So I was like, well, I could do that, and it's gonna sound fire coming from a woman.
It's great to see women be so kind of fierce.
That is my life's mission, to make sure that I'm always unapologetically me.
Chelsea follows rap music. She has.
That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. Do you think that it sounds fire coming from a woman?
I honestly don't even know if I really even heard that song.
You know what it stands for, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I heard about that song, but I never really like banged on it or anything. I think I tried to listen to it, and it was all right for me. It just wasn't that good to me, you know. Yeah. But I wish I had this clip, and I can't. I know I'm not going to be able to find it, but it's like a song from the '60s or like the '40s or some shit, and she's singing about this big dick man that she could ride all night long or some shit like that. And it's like,
yeah, that was where blues, like after the Depression, like after that was when life was starting to come back into existence, and they were taking like what they had gone through and being way more bold. Yeah, blues was that for a minute, you know.
Yeah, so you know, I don't think it's anything necessarily new.
I don't. Yeah,
this is how I look at that.
The president got interviewed by Cardi B. That's why I think it's different.
Okay, this is what's no. The president is campaigning,
right? But you and I know that.
I mean, not the president, but let me be clearer. Hillary Clinton is campaigning. That's why she's doing stuff.
Oh, right.
With all the, I don't know who you said the president was with Cardi. Who are you talking about?
What Cardi? Biden. She was the one who represented the urban community. He interviewed with Cardi B. Like that was the one who was, you know. And so what happens is that you and I know that that's shit, but the little girls watching think that, oh, if I'm a stripper, then I can sit down with the president one day. And it's not. Yeah, but it's not the kind of change that we're looking for. You know, we're just not.
Well, it's already changed.
There's nothing lasting or healthy.
That's really the whole point. It has already changed, and it's you guys' fault, and you need to take responsibility for it and dial it the fuck back. Right? I mean, how is she selling records? Who is she selling records to? Cardi B is selling records to women. Right? It's not a bunch of, I mean, dudes like it, but you know, it's not a bunch of Cardi B records in dudes' catalogs. That's just not how it works. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I have disdain for it too. I mean, it's men writing her raps and shit. I don't know.
But you feel what I'm saying, right? You're not.
I do. I get what you're saying, but it's such a.
Even a hip hop head, you know, you're not going. You know, if it was a like, you will find Lauryn Hill, maybe you will find some Queen Latifah, maybe, but you're not really finding Cardi B.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was a different era. So as much as I can say, every time I see these women falling into that, I talk to them. You know. I talk to him. It is definitely a societal problem. I do my part, but what it's horrible. Like, how do you make somebody see that they're the reason for their own demise? Like they're funding their own demise. They're perpetrating it. They're raising the kids that are gonna, you know, stomp through the guts of it. Like, it's just a bad situation. And you know, these men too are in their little skinny jeans and all this stuff. They're not going to be the ones that are going to be like, stop. I taught my son, I taught him so different. Like, you know, like, no, you don't hit a woman, but if she's wilding out, shake her one good time. Just shake. You got it. Like, you know, and a lot of these men aren't going to do that out here. They're going to sit down and cry with you or get a chest jaw surgery. Or I don't know what the fuck is going on with these people. It's too much. It's too much.
See how you flipped it back on men? See, I'm saying it's the women. Y'all are
I
raising
raised a
these
man
men.
though. I raised a man. I
No.
can't. It's hard for me to stand in their position. I can't fight on their side. I think it's fucked up what they're doing. But I do think it takes two to tango. It does. It can't be just the woman changing. The men. I mean, every.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about right now. And that's what y'all and y'all need to figure out what y'all got to do to figure out how to propagate your divine feminine energy and stop spreading your goods all over the place and stop trying to be men.
I think that we do. I mean, we do our part. But should there be more of it? Yes, there should be. Absolutely, because
Should there
it's
be
looking
more of
bad
what?
out here, huh?
Should there be more of what?
Of women doing their part, like spreading a message that's different and being clear in that, and showing people what they're, especially young women, what they're worth. Because if you have bad baby going to talk at Oxford, that's a problem. We need to explain to people that that's not, it's not the norm. That's an anomaly, and that does nothing for you as a person raising a family. Like that is your job according to nature. That's your job. You have the children, and it's a blessing, and you raise them up to be great people, and they take care of you in the end, and it's like this beautiful cycle that works. This other shit doesn't work. It doesn't work if you can't have kids, if you're like, I don't know, giving it up to everybody, and you have two
I
twins
actually
by
think
two
that you
different dads.
touched on something that's actually very important in how you described this cycle, because one thing that I find that's universal is there aren't things that begin and end. Everything that is anything is cyclical. There's never one rose.
Yeah.
Roses don't start and end. There are more. Their stars don't start and end. They're cyclical. Life doesn't begin and end. It's cyclical, right? And the way that you describe that relationship, as in they come together, they produce the offspring, they raise that offspring takes care of them. That cycle is in part one of the reasons why the family structure is under attack so much, because the idea is to have people dependent on the government structure. I know I kind of got off the subject a little bit, but the idea that the family operates as a cycle, and that perpetuating cycle strengthens us as humanity, I think is very important for people to understand and recognize. Yeah, it's a cycle, and we have to keep
It
on
takes
this
one
cycle.
person in the chain to break it, like to go another direction and decide, oh, I don't like men, I like women, or whatever. Right there, the cycle gets broken to some extent. So if that is the direction that you're going to choose to go, because I'm not going to deny anybody love, there has to be a nurturing of the cycle still. Otherwise, it ends. It can't
Well,
go
I
on.
mean, that's where, some of these leftist policies seem to be heading. Okay, so if the left has their way, then they are going to just completely propagate themselves out of existence with all they're pushing for homosexuality and all they're pushing for, like, not monogamy. They don't want to be like no family, no monogamy, no boy gender, none of that stuff. They're just seem to be pushing themselves out of existence. I don't know. Look, look, I don't even know what to say about that. I don't know how that works as a long-term strategy.
I mean, there's the tech aspect where they're growing babies. They are growing the ideal babies, whatever that is.
I don't know what you mean.
Like they have those wombs that live outside of the human. The tech, money is gonna make a way for life. Yeah, I don't know if we can even call it that. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel natural. I do not consent, and I do not advocate. But that's the only way I can see them continuing from what they're working with. Otherwise, I mean, they want no genders, no no mothers, no parents. I mean, it's just gross. I don't know. It's not sustainable.
And the only way to do that is to get rid of birth control. I don't think it'll ever go back unless that's
an
gone.
interesting point.
Because that's when you see everything switch. If you look at the divorce rate graph, like as soon as divorce spiked, at the same time, that was when more women were getting on birth control. Because you're taking away, because that's the thing, like society takes away the consequence for everything women do. Like we have no consequences for anything. If we sleep around, we don't get pregnant because of birth control. Even if we do get pregnant, we have abortion. Even if we do get pregnant and keep the kid, he pays child support. Even if we do get pregnant, get married, get divorced, we get alimony or child support again.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if we're bad with our finances and we're homeless, there's women's shelters.
Have you seen this? It's goes along with what she's saying. It's so gross. Like, I don't think, well, I'll tell you afterwards. Yeah. I'm going to put it in the chat, okay?
Okay.
It's just easier that way. Yes. Oh, you got it. The remix. Next saw the remix.
Murder. Murder. They know fuck you. I'm BDF, nigga, baby daddy free. That mean I ain't got a nigga, baby coming out of me. So I'm ABORTING. On my way to the clinic, I forgot the plan B. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Yeah, bitch, I got murder.
Okay, why am I listening to this?
Do you see what she's saying? I mean,
yeah.
No consequence for fucking. She can just go to the clinic and just get rid of the baby and not have to deal with a baby daddy. And
murder on my mind. Let's go. Murder. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. I forgot the plan B. Ain't no nigga cuffing me. You can't put me on the shelf, bitch. I'm outside with the team. All these bitches having babies, but that ain't finna be me. Said he wanna settle down. Niggas selling all these dreams. He got 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid, 4. Bitch, he cheaper by the dozen if his ass have any more. And
that's crazy. That's crazy. Like she can't be serious.
see, that's what I'm thinking too. But now this little remix thing, the video is a little bit different than the original. And see, I thought like when I first saw it, I was like, oh God, please say it's not there yet. I mean, now, like, please say that's not where we are. But then I looked again and I thought, okay, she's just doing it to show how ridiculous it is. Like maybe this is her way of messaging, you know?
No, there doesn't seem to be any irony in this song at all.
Well, that's the sad part.
That's horrible. I don't even want to listen to it. Sorry.
Well, you shouldn't. Yeah, I just wanted to show what was there.
It's horrifying. See, that's what I'm thinking about. Like music in particular. I mean, how would you want to write a song that you couldn't sing when you were like 60? You know?
Yeah, I mean, we can go. We should talk about.
How could you not be thinking about touring when you're old and shit? You know what I'm saying? And still playing your songs. I mean, who wants to hear a 58-year-old woman talk about WAP? Nobody when they stop.
Not anybody, because it's a lie. Because you have menopausal and stuff, so that's not true.
That's not necessarily true. No, look, that's not necessarily true.
Well,
but
you would know. I'm a young virgin. You should ask my kids about it.
Okay. Well, you know, yeah. So as far as these sort of leftist, God, I can't talk. The left, I don't know how they plan to. I don't understand the game plan there with all of that, with all the gender stuff and all the, and you know they're starting to export it now too. They're trying to get this stuff in other countries. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, it's going on a lot in other countries. I mean, Tavistock is who did the whole study. Like, I mean, you know, they really figured out how to get into the psyche of the children by way of school, and so now they're all like, the meme, which isn't funny at all, is like the kid says, I like blue, and the parents are like, oh, let's go schedule her surgery. Like, it's so instantaneous. And you know what nobody's talking about?
What's that?
Is when it goes the other way. You know, I'm sure you've seen some of these testimonials from people that are like, it was the biggest mistake I ever made. I shouldn't have ever had gone through these kind of surgeries. But in the public space, like, or celebrity space, I'll say, Angelina Jolie's daughter, who they called John or something for like all those years, is now back to Shiloh, and she's a girly girl now.
Yeah, I was gonna put that in the news actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that, right?
Nobody wants to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as people can start seeing the agenda, I think that'll be very, very freeing, and they'll be able to look inside themselves and trust what feels right to them.
Well, I mean, it's oddly enough with Angelina Jolie's kid, because, you know, she let him go so far in the first place, and she seems to be one of their spokespeople, but apparently she didn't do anything else. She just let them express themselves, and they grew out of it. So, I mean, that's interesting that she chose not to go that route.
She chose not to, yeah, because she could have, because she got a double mastectomy herself because of she wasn't even cancerous. She got a double mastectomy because her mom had breast cancer. It's just a weird, it's a weird solution.
Talking about exporting abortion. Check this out.
Policy and what I saw, at least from my own point of view, and the work that I was doing in the various African countries, and also with people in DC at the time, it was such that the United States government decided to stop funding abortion organizations or any organization involved in any kind of abortion promotion, abortion provision. They stopped all that funding. That was great. But of course, once President Biden came in, he just, overturned that and then started to fund abortion organizations. They started to promote abortion organizations. And I am talking millions of dollars. US taxpayers don't even realize what they're paying for in some of these African countries and even Latin American countries. So I'm hoping that with what has happened now, hopefully people can then begin to demand from the United States, hold on, we don't want abortion. You can give us something else, but don't give us abortion, and do not sponsor abortion organizations in our countries. So that's also one implication, and I think...
Right?
It's so fucked up. This goes back to depopulation, which is what they want, but then it's like, how do you sustain? Like, I feel like I've seen the end of the movie. Like, it's a bunch of them, like the elite, masterminds of communism painted as democracy, sitting around with their AI robots talking about I miss humans, and then they all die. I just don't. There's no good outcome there. But the Kissinger report, as far as depopulation goes in Africa, I wonder, because I remember them saying that he couldn't say that abortion was depopulation and fund it. So they had to do it really tricky in the States. I wonder if Africa is the same, if policy out there is written out as such.
But isn't that the strangest thing to export, though? Isn't that weird?
It's so weird. But that's the thing. That should tell us what they're doing. I mean, at face value, it's gross.
Well, what do you mean? Well, as far as them killing people in Africa, they've been doing that for a minute. But I'm just talking about specifically. Well, I'm just talking about specifically women's issues and women refusing to accept responsibility. Like that woman there, that's the woman that's accepting responsibility. She's like, hey, we cool on the abortions. But in this country, they don't want to accept responsibility.
Oh, they're baby daddy free. Yeah.
That is scary. That is so scary. That is just scary that she's dancing in front of a Planned Parenthood like I'm that's crazy. I mean, I just think about that because I think about the statistics and how many Black children are aborted, and what this nation would look like if they're. I mean, the Planned Parenthoods are not in the rich neighborhoods; they're in the poor neighborhoods. The Planned Parenthoods are not. What?
You know what? I heard the craziest clip on that. Their mindset. I don't know what it is. Are we calling them Democrats or is it progressives? I don't
know, but there's sort of an ideology that is prevalent, and I mean, I've been calling them liberals, but not every classic liberals are not necessarily.
I'm not like that.
I don't like to really.
Liberal definition of liberal is completely opposite of that.
So I mean, I'll start to just refer to them as the left because these are left sort of ideologies.
This clip is so. Okay, so here, It's on my TikTok, so just learning the ways. Oops.
God, that was
Oh,
horrible.
I got it.
That was a horrible song. It didn't even sound good.
Right. And let's hope that I mean, she's gonna have to explain herself though, because no one's gonna pick up. I looked at Willie D, you know Willie D, from
Yeah.
Ghetto Boys.
Yeah.
He played it, and I
Follow
was
him on
reading the comment.
Instagram. He's kind of boring, but I still follow him. Go ahead.
Yeah. And reading the comments, I was like, this is why I don't really follow him, because they're just not there yet. But all of them took it serious, you know, like serious, like she was just serious. And I was like, maybe like we can.
This girl here was serious, or who was serious?
No. This one I think is serious. Do you know this clip? Let's play this.
No. Well, first, what are you talking about?
Oh, I was talking about the rapper. Willie D had posted that video, the Baby Daddy Free, on his YouTube. And I was reading the comments, and they all thought it was dead serious, because I was thinking at that point that maybe it wasn't. But if you can't tell, then it is, period. Yeah. Even if it isn't, you know. What do you see? TikTok?
Yes, it.
Bad behavior, anything. If you could just say to your child, well, I'm sorry, you're misbehaving, you're not going to be a productive member of society, or you're going to have a hard life, let's go off to the abortion clinic. And it would be more humane for that child, because we know what abortion looks like in the womb, and it is horrible. It would be much more humane to simply go to the abortion and have the child put to sleep. Would you not agree? Bad behavior.
Okay, they only played a part of the clip, and they played a part I hadn't heard yet. In short, she's saying that they're saying what the cutoff timing should be for abortion. And she's saying until 18. Because if your child isn't behaving correctly and not going to be a productive member of society, then you should be able to end your child. Not just a fetus or an embryo. You should be able to end your child if they're not being productive in society, and take them to the abortion clinic. I don't know how that would work, but it's this brain infiltration. Even to imagine that is not right. It's not right to me. It's not natural to how women are. Women are nurturing.
How they're talking about killing their babies is so weird.
It's so weird, and fighting for it and not pausing. It's like,
it is the weirdest thing why women refused to take responsibility for themselves.
I mean,
and it's the weirdest thing why men have allowed this to happen. I think, right. I mean, are we trying to get pussy so bad that we let women just do whatever the fuck they want to do?
And why are men not more involved in that process? That shouldn't be a thing. It should not be just, first of all, it's not your body, because you guys shared at this point, you created a life, and that baby has a body now. It's bananas to me that that's the thing. My body, my choice. Okay, take this woman that wants to kill her baby, or wants the right to kill her child up until the age of 18. Is that your body? Is that your choice? That's just crazy talk. Like, that's not your body. That's not your choice. That's not even technically your child at this point. Because, you know.
Okay. But yeah, okay. We're getting a little off. We're straying a little bit. Right?
I mean,
I don't think any sane person is going to advocate that a mother should be able to kill their child until they're 18 years old.
I think 8 months pregnant is disgusting.
I think so that is sort of the height of ridiculousness, but that she was serious about it does let you know the sort of sickness that's sort of pervading in our society. But right. I think for me, it's more of a call to common sense it's just common sense, you know, for people on the left. Some of the ideas that you're putting forth, you know, I think, you know, there was a time when parents got upset if you came home and told them that you were gay. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't, I think parents were shamed. A lot of them were shamed into not doing that anymore, but it wasn't because they weren't accepting of the person or whatever. It was because they wanted grandchildren, because they wanted the cycle to continue. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, right, right.
Right. So when your
It's a
child comes
selfish
to you
sexual
and
orientation.
says,
It is.
I've made a decision that is not going to allow the cycle to continue, obviously any parent would be upset. It would just be it would be like, oh my God, I did this thing for the cycle and my cycle's stopping. The whole reason that we do it is to perpetuate the cycle. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, my mom's gay, but she had me first.
Mm-hmm.
And her and my dad, they remained friends. And when she like came out, I hate to say that now because of what they've demonized, they bastardized everything. But when she came out, my dad was like, finally, I was wondering when you'd figure it out. And they remained friends like the whole, until he died. And that was that. And it wasn't a big thing.
Are you an only child?
Not, I mean, technically, yes, but no, because my dad was remarried. And
okay. Are you your mom's only child?
My mom's only child, yes.
Okay.
But she had, well, let me not tell her business right now.
Right. Let's not tell her business. But that's interesting though. I did not know your mom was gay. And you said your dad knew the whole time?
Yeah. Well, he just figured that something was up and he was so happy when she figured it out and he was so accepting of it.
How old were you when she came out?
I never remember them together. Only as friends. So I must have been in like 1 or something like that.
So this is at a time when it wasn't really safe to come out, right?
Oh yeah, her Orthodox Jewish parents were like, the black dude, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me?
First the black dude, now you're gay.
They were like, what? Yeah. They were like, what happened to you? I mean, her dad didn't speak to her at all. So yeah.
Huh.
But that's why I'm saying I know what's authentic and I know what comes naturally, and it's not forcing people to to conform to anything. It's just accepting people for who they are. And like you just said, the cycle. My mom, she had me and she continued raising me and she has grandkids now. There's that still. My dad, he got remarried, and it's just, you can't make something, the way that women look at it now, I feel like they look at it like men are so bad and so not worthy, which is contradictory because they're giving it up to everybody. But like, they're just like, I'm just going to be myself and I don't even want kids and, all this stuff. And it's like.
But how that one chick said that women's standards have never been higher and they've never had less to offer a man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in a lot of ways, she's right about that. Yeah. And, and women got to start taking responsibility for it. You guys have to own up to you got to do something to keep a man in the house. Right. And I don't get me wrong. Some men don't want to be in the house. I got you. You right. But you got to do something to make it so that they want to be in the house so that we can start perpetuating this cycle of family among our people, among our country, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be a cycle of perpetuation.
It's funny. I understand it. I must have had this sort of problem solving thought process at some point because I was going to do this little book, but now I guess it would be an app. We can do it together. And it would just be like, it's like a little guide. So the little book my man needed me to write, or the little app my man needed me to make, or the little app, my 15-year-old girl needed me to, just a little reference, because I don't know how else to get to them. We live in a digital age. We do our part speaking and things like that, but like there has to be something they can reference. What's something make them stop and think. Just a little guidebook to the stuff that gets in the way, a way to kind of block that stuff that gets in the way of the cycles of life and being the best that you can be in that. Because that's what harmony is. If you don't have harmony and balance, it's how it is now, which is chaotic and crazy, and every day is something else, and it's just not healthy for anybody, especially these kids.
So you don't know how to make women start taking responsibility, huh?
Yeah, we're going to do a little app. Did you not hear me? App.
Yeah, but what's the app going to say?
It's going to be a little guide.
Like, why would people want it?
Because we're going to make it hot. What do you mean?
I'm not understanding the app idea.
Well, I will do it with someone else. How are you going to fix it?
I don't know. I'm trying to understand.
No, I just think that apps right now, I mean, not right now, but like
I
we're
think
dealing
what
with a
has to
digital
start
generation.
happening is that, first of all, people in general need to start taking a stand as far as what they are and are not willing to accept as the new normal, as acceptable as this, that, and the other. For example, there is a group of people that are changing the word. They don't want to use the word pedophile anymore, and they want to call them minor attracted persons, right? This sort of softens how people are looking at them. It sort of ingratiates them into society by calling them minor attracted people, and then they try to make allusions to all the minor attracted people that aren't actually abusing children. And so if enough people don't stand now and chase these minor attracted persons back into whichever cave, they should be afraid to let people know that they're minor attracted people. They should be in fear that they're minor attracted people. They should know that there's something wrong with them and seek help. Minor is not a gender. All right. So, they should know that this is not how things are supposed to go and how damaging it is to children. And if they're having these thoughts, they should be able to turn themselves in someplace. So,
have you ever seen anybody fall for that? Like, look at that and be like, that's a thing?
I don't know. I mean, they did a TED Talk on it. So, I mean, the whole audience.
Right. I know. I haven't seen anybody actually react to that and be like, oh, that makes sense. Like,
well, they didn't start throwing eggs at her. Like they didn't start throwing eggs at her in the TED Talk. And this is my point. This is my point. Yeah, there's a school of thought that's like, well, if it's okay for you, then it might not be okay for me, but and that has to stop. Some shit is just wrong. Right. Yeah. And so parents have to not be afraid to let their children know that they want grandchildren. Right. I want grandchildren. I want our line to continue on. They should not be afraid to do that. I mean, this is what I'm talking about as far as taking personal responsibility, because the thing about it is being right sucks. This is what people don't understand. Being right sucks ass. We've been right about this COVID thing since the beginning, right?
And we saw the minor attracted person thing coming from miles away.
It puts you on the outs, right? They ridicule you. They call you conspiracy theorists. They don't want to listen to nothing you got to say because of how you feel about one thing, right? They do all this stuff, right? What?
I said, you're crazy. That's what I hear so much. I've got called so many names. Like, I'm just
right. Well, that's my point. Being right sucks. So when a parent is like that with their children, yeah, it sucks. But yeah, being right.
You mean like, yeah.
Being right sucks.
Yeah, because
so like I'm saying, me as a man who's marriage minded and can't find a woman willing to think past next Thursday, you know what I'm saying? I mean, right? I've always wanted to be married. My parents are married. They've been married since 1977, right? So I have that example to go on. I've always had a one, but women can't. They can't be honest for prolonged periods of time. Can't stop talking shit for prolonged periods of time, and I'm like, as a guy like me, I mean, I want to get married. It's not my fault that I'm not married, right? I have not, like, I'm, so yeah.
I mean,
women have to want families more than they want this other shit. You guys got to want what's good for you.
And they will in the end. They will. I'm sorry, but have you seen that viral clip of the girl? I think that's a good thing. People sharing their stories. Have you seen the viral clip of that woman who says that she talks a lot of shit about men and women and all that stuff? Have you seen that?
I don't know.
You don't know? I was just going to explain it, but it might be worth looking at. So, you want to get married. You've always wanted to get married. It's not your fault you're not married. Sorry for interrupting, but that was a thing.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it. It doesn't sound familiar.
You're just saying that you think. Okay. Regrets. Oh. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like,
women have a lot of regrets. That's a good thing.
I'm not in a hurry to walk down the aisle or anything like that. I'm not trying to marry the first woman I see, but at the same time, when I'm going out with somebody, I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking marriage. If I'm start dating you seriously.
Of
But
course.
but I don't think women are like that these days. Or it hasn't been my experience.
Well, what happened to, and I don't think this is necessarily healthy too, but at least you're going that direction. What happened to women wanting like the nice big wedding? Like, is that out the door now? They want to marry themselves. They want to marry a fence or something, or what? I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw a woman.
Yeah, that was actually in the news.
People shouldn't support that. That's not a thing.
I don't know if women are still into big weddings or not, because I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think
and it actually begs a very important question. Like, am I for marriage or am I for a union? And I think I should be clearer about that, because marriage is more a business contract.
Right.
And
Thank you for that.
Yeah. And I mean a union, a man and woman, like it's us. Right. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I should be more
just harmonious and creating.
Right. Yeah, the marriage is sort of man-made. The union is how it's supposed to be.
Right. And that's funny because Nam and I, we were married in 97. Is that right? 97. We got divorced in like 2002. And we're back together, but we never got married. Our mindset is just so different. Nah, because
the marriage puts a weird sort of pressure on you, doesn't it?
It does. It's a contract. And then what's the blood test and all that stuff?
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't do that part because I guess at that point in California, it was just a formality. You didn't really have to do it, but we didn't do it. But it's just a weird thing. And it's a property kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But there is something,
well, back in the day, farmers, men didn't need daughters, they needed sons. So they had to give y'all away with a couple of cows and some land and shit. Here, take her.
The dowry,
yeah. Take her off my hands, would you?
That's crazy.
I got 3 girls. Huh? Try to marry him.
Right, I got 3 girls. This one's not much of a looker, but she can cook in the kitchen.
That's right.
That's just a little hard on the eyes, but you can get this cow.
Right. And I remember watching this one clip about how this African tribe or somewhere in Africa where they chose each other's husband and wives, and when it came down to it, she was like, "Yeah, but we all got men, right? Ain't nobody here that don't got a man." You have to like it, but like ain't nobody here that don't got a man. Everybody got a man. So say what you want. Say what you want.
And Africa's baby. They're always having babies. Yeah, that stresses people out. It's so weird, that when you look for a video, you'll find it, but it's always like somebody reacting to the video. It's like, what is that?
My nerves too. Yeah, everybody reacting to stuff. Or like they'll show the video
somebody that you don't really care
with their face right next to it going, right. Yeah, I don't need all that. You're not the one talking, bro. Just repost.
Just repost, please. And we'll be like, oh, you get credit. You reposted.
Right,
so yeah,
exactly.
I don't see her. I wish I did though, because she's saying she's going into surgery, and I guess she's in the car about to go to the hospital, and she starts out calm and speaking, but she gets more emotional as she continues talking, and she's saying that I know I talk a lot of shit about men and girls and whatever, how we are and what we do, and that we can be with whoever we want. She's like, but the fact of the matter is I'm alone right now. Like, I'm going into surgery. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm alone, and I have to depend on my mom to take care of me, maybe if something happens, my sister, but she's married. She got her own things going on, her kids. She's like, this is a fucked up feeling. Like, she broke it down. I think that's important, like, for people to tell stories like that are actual stories. That's real. That's a real story. This other stuff that you hear on the radio or whatever, those aren't real. Those people are married. They're married with children, and they're rapping about not being that, like, about being, even Cardi B is married with children,
Well, she's not rapping about not being married.
But WAP and all that stuff is not, it's promiscuity that leads to.
She does promote promiscuity. I'll give you that. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah, she does. Very much. And her husband, gotta say, he does frequent the strip clubs and get, it's just it's a mess. And that's none of those things are what you really want to bring into a family, because of the little baby that you make who's going to call your mom grandma. And it's really dope. I've never, when
I can't
I had my
imagine.
son,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at him and I was like, oh my God, like that's love. I thought so much other stuff was love. And then when I saw my child, there was nothing that could take the place of the love that I felt for him, and that's why mothers do what they do in feats of strength and stuff when their kid is, in danger.
With my
But
kids, I
didn't
didn't feel that when I had my kids. I didn't feel like overwhelming love like the way that you described it. I felt overwhelming responsibility. I felt like I have to get this. Now I gotta get it right. Yeah. Now I gotta get it right. It was like
that's your role.
And part of the reason why I ended up changing my whole life.
That's what it does.
Again.
That's a good point.
Yeah. For me, it was like I got to get it right.
Yeah, such a good point, because I wouldn't be who I am right now at all. Like none of the stuff that I've done in career, in dream, like making things come true, making shit happen, just anything that I've done would have been done completely different or not at all if I didn't have kids. It really does help you. And then you want your kids to be better than you were. And you just start creating these better people. And it's a good thing. It's really a good thing. My son, that sense of responsibility.
No, go ahead.
That sense of responsibility that you felt, it's funny because like I raised my son, I can only do so much, but it's already instilled and it can be nurtured. And I remember one time we were driving and Naya was sitting next to him, but she was young, and I was in the front seat, and these guys pulled up and they were like, hey, what's up? Like looking whatever. And I just ignored him. And my son, he was sulking for like a good, 10 minutes. I'm like, what's wrong with you? He was like, I just realized that you're somebody I have to protect. And he just had that in him, like that was just a moment.
That's
and
a
I
good
was
story.
like, that's really,
That's a good story. Yeah.
And those are the things that you nurture and appreciate, because that's
well, listen, what it comes down to anyway is you women, y'all need to start taking responsibility for your shit. Y'all need to start owning your shit. Y'all need to start doing what you got to do to keep a man in the house and fuck the dumb shit, and stop breaking up with a dude because he cheats, because you fucking know dudes cheat anyway. That's what they do. Like, stop playing. That's not a reason to end your marriage. Dudes, you got to stop cheating for every fucking, well, we're not on the dudes right now. We could do this again and get on the dudes if you want to. We could do a whole nother one and get on dudes.
It doesn't bother me. Men are pretty easy.
No, listen, but for me, what it comes down to, in a big portion, you women need to start taking responsibility for what's going on here. Okay.
You wrapped it up well, but I wanted to make an addition to that and just
hit your shit. Just
say that not only responsibility, but also people need to be able to self-criticize.
Not people, women.
Women need to be able to criticize their group, their peers and stuff too, and really be honest about it, because everybody's listening to somebody that's listening to somebody. Like, say something worth listening to and not killing us. Let's go.
Well, I mean, they're not gonna let them do nothing good in the music business anyway. So we got to start doing them independent.
We have to rewrite it.
Yeah, no, we got to just start.
Yeah, we got to rewrite.
We have our own labels and our own record industry. We got to do, create our own culture. That's how it's got to work.
1000%, because it ain't going down. I miss Lauryn Hill. I miss who you calling a bitch. I miss all that Tony Love and all that stuff. Those were good songs. They made sense.